is what you're made of. You are perfect and pure, even if you're not sure. It's what you're made of. L-O-V-E, love.
I agree with that. That's a great secret. It's a secret that's out now. Turn this down, John. Secret to life. It's not really a secret at all. It's just a decision, right? It's a decision to take one step at a time, enjoy each moment, take one breath at a time, enjoy the people you're with. Think about what you're going to say. Think about what you're doing. And pay attention to your thoughts as well. Pay attention to what's in your heart, what's in your mind, what you're giving to your neighbor and to yourself. The ancient Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu famously said, "The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." If you can look at whatever you're doing in life, look at your life as a whole, it begins today with your next step, your next thought. Whether it's your spiritual journey of your soul, or just an aspect of your personal journey in this lifetime, it's all interconnected. There are days when every one of us can feel overwhelmed and uncertain about our path. Every one of us has been there. And we will be there again. But the best way to calm those feelings of uncertainty or overwhelm, to regain our balance, is to focus on the present moment. Would you agree? Absolutely. Focus on the present moment and simply take the next step with confidence. Once we accomplish one step in the process of our personal growth, the following steps always seem to get easier. Just take that first step. As we walk more joyfully into the next moment, it gets easier and easier. We walk more steadily and more surely towards our highest good. Yeah, it's very important to keep your eye on the prize, to keep your goals in your heart, to set your intentions. That's very important. But if you become too focused on the result, you might miss the joy that's available in each step of the journey.
Amen.
Look at that. There's joy in each moment, each step. And the path to awakening is not always clear to us. We can't always see what's going to be ahead of us. We can't always see what's going to happen when we take that step. And so sometimes we get frozen. It's part of the amygdala, the fear taking over. It's not just flight or fight. It's not fight or flight. It's also freeze. Sometimes we get frozen. Sometimes we get stuck. And we won't take another step because we don't know what's going to happen. We can't see. But if you go back, you don't know what's going to happen if you go back either. All you do know is you're not going to be moving forward. So enjoy that step fully. And when you feel how joyful that one moment is, you're going to want to take another one. You're going to want to feel more joy. You're not going to feel fear. You're going to feel excitement.
Amen.
It's pretty much the same kind of energy in your body. Fear and excitement, it's like the two sides of the same coin. Any of you who've been in the theater, right before you go on stage, you got all this energy going on. And it could be fear, but you turn it into excitement. Because it's the same thing. I remember when, some of my first experiences in the theater, when I'd be backstage shaking, going, I'm afraid to go on. And the director goes, no, you're just excited. Get out there. And it's true. I'm excited for life. I'm excited for growth. I'm excited for learning. I'm excited for the next moment. So when the path's not always clear to us, We might go through some things, that we didn't actually plan for. But instead of saying, why is this happening to me? Try saying, what has this come to teach me? There might be twists and turns and trials and tribulations, but they are always part of a bigger picture. They're always part of something greater in your journey toward your authentic spiritual self. Everything in your life has led you to this moment. Everything has been important. It's played an important role in getting you here. One aspect missing from that story would not be you. Amen. It would not be how you are sitting here right now. So ultimately we know that those so-called tough times are really the most important ones in building our character, strengthening our inner resolve. And those tough people in our lives, or better said, the ones who challenge us to grow, those folks, amen. You know those folks, right? You don't have to accept negative or toxic people in your life. I'm not saying that. But there are those people and situations which you attract to you to help you grow spiritually, to help you evolve spiritually. Absolutely. What's it called, Kevin? Iron sharpening iron. I looked it up. I don't normally teach from the Old Testament, but this is Proverbs. Iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. It's an ancient quote from the book of Proverbs in the Bible, and it's the foundation for the concept of spiritual growth through relationships. It reminds us that we have the power to positively impact each other's life and to help each other grow. And it also calls you to surround yourself with those people that challenge you and push you and motivate you in a positive way. So you're not calling those negative situations into your life anymore. Because the universe will send you whatever it is. It doesn't have the capacity. Spirit doesn't have a discerning capacity. That's your job. That's the power of discernment. That's why we're given that spiritual power. So I looked this up and I read a lot about iron sharpens iron, meaning, in another way, that you need others to sharpen you. You need others to work with and to challenge each other, to challenge you, to move you, to help you grow. We need one another because we're all part of the one, but we're all different aspects here on earth. And so we need each other to grow spiritually. And we call situations into our lives to help us grow. This proverb also emphasizes the importance as well of actively seeking out those who will push us out of our comfort zones. Oh, you didn't think that you would now want to go and look for those people, did you? You've spent most of your life running away from them. Those folks that push you out of your comfort zone, I don't want to even talk to them. I'm not going to invite them over. I'm not going to call them up. Well, look out, because next time you're in the supermarket, they're going to show up. Amen. And the next time you're at your spiritual center, they're going to be there. You might have married one. You might have given birth to one, or two, or three, who push you out of your comfort zone. Almost all children do that, even when they're adults. So actively seek them out. Keep actively growing and moving, and pretty soon you'll be the one helping others to grow, pushing them out of their comfort zone. And then it goes back and forth, where you're helping one another. I love that. I often say that Lily and I are like on two ends of the spectrum here on earth. We're like complete opposites in a lot of ways. And yet, we work so perfect together. And it's because we made a decision to do so. We actively seek out those places where I can accept Lily's strengths as helping me in my life. And I can, calm down a little bit and allow, for her calmer energy to take over. And there are times when things need to get done, and she counts on me to get those things done because I have a little more active, assertive energy. And there are a lot of different things in our human expression where, we're just like total opposites. And I love it because there's a place where we come together. And when we come together in our center and we stay there as one, we feel an energy that's just totally amazing. And that's what all of humanity can do. That's what you can do with everyone. Join in that place where we are one. Take that next step together. It doesn't always have to be iron sharpening iron. That's just something that happens when you're resisting. It can also be an expression of love joining with another expression of love that's different than yours. Amen. That's all. So the act of taking one step at a time or living mindfully includes fully accepting not only this moment as it is, but everyone around you as they are. What do we say in unity? We love you. We bless you. We behold the Christ in you. And we accept you just the way you are. That gives you freedom to accept yourself and to take the next step in your growth. If we don't accept you the way you are, then when you take a next step in your growth, we won't be accepting that either. We have to accept ourselves just as we are, accept our neighbors just as they are, and that gives us freedom to grow. It gives us freedom to grow together. It's a lonely journey if you're not growing with your folks that you have called to you. I used to call them your bright reflections. They're reflecting to you who you are. You've called these people into your life. Honor that. You've called these people right here that you're with into your life. You're here for a reason, and you're the one that has created it. So honor that you created this moment. You brought all these people here just for you. It's a wonderful thing. So even if the situation is not what you thought it should be, if what's occurring is not what you thought should be happening, if everything seems to be falling apart, or if it even feels like you'll never reach your goals, just take that next step. Just take that one step forward. The universe might actually be setting you up for a much better situation. Amen. Much better than you thought. Much better than you planned. Much better than you could design. Absolutely. And remember, sometimes when things are falling apart, they might actually be falling into place. Just let it fall into place. And when you're losing sight of that goal and you feel like giving up, you feel like turning around, stop, please. Don't turn around. You already know what's back there. That's no fun. Take that next step. Even if you can't see what it's going to be. That's the adventure. That's the joy. That's the journey that I enjoy. If you need to heal something from the past, you heal it in the present moment. Amen. And then you can move forward. So if you need to heal, you're not going to be able to go back. It's over. It's gone. Enjoy the passage of time. That's the secret of life. We're moving forward one step at a time. We're healing the past in the present. And that allows us to move forward with greater joy and more freedom. Every step in your journey, every single step in your journey can be more sacred. A sacred act in the journey of your sacred and meaningful life. Make that step a sacred and meaningful act. That one step. And then your life, you'll recognize it's sacred and meaningful. We have the power of decision within us. Let's use that power. Let's use that power as we take each step together. We walk one another home. We're walking each other to the God within us and the environment of godliness, of spirit, sacred and meaningful lives. Let's use that power. Let's remember that we're not just walking home alone, that we're walking home together. And whatever's happening in your life, whatever occurs, just accept this moment as it is. And whatever you do, take that next step. Amen? Amen? All right. Amen. Thank you. I love you guys.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at unityonCapeCod.org. This video was made possible in part through a grant from Unity Worldwide Ministries and the Templeton Foundation.